going to do a little bit of a ombre tutorial video. So hopefully this works. I'm not sure if I've got my camera hooked up right, but we'll see. Anyway, so I've started out, the colours I'm going to be doing will be on black and different colours. So this one is going to be pink at the top and black at the bottom, and the other one is going to be red at the bottom and black at the top, if I remember that correctly. So I'll start with the pink, and what I'm using is Iggy Azalea and Late Night Sparkle Run from Sparkles by Car B Designs. So let's get going. I've mixed up the epoxy. I'm using just Resin DiamondCote. By far my favourite epoxy. And I'm just going to put a really thin layer all over my cup. So I'll get my glitters ready so I can start. Some people like to do Mod Podge, and for different methods Mod Podge works really well. I prefer the epoxy method at this point, so we'll just start. So I'm just going to dip my finger. I've prepped the cup just with white spray paint. I'm just going to dip my finger in, and I'm just going to start really smooshing that epoxy on there. You just want a really thin layer. Make sure it's really smooth. Take it right to the top and smooth it out. I'm only using literally the tiniest bit of epoxy. The rest I'll use for some molds or, you know, something else that won't go to waste. You really don't want the epoxy dripping, because then that'll make your glitter slide off. So if you can get it really thin on the cup and smooth, that's the best way. Okay. Just going to take my glove off, move this out the road. So this will be pink at the top. So I'm just going to lay a piece of paper down, and I'm going to actually start, because you always start with your lightest colour. So I'm going to start just sprinkling the pink around the top. You can go back in and do a second coat if you feel you need to, and just angle your cup too. Sprinkle it from really high up after you've done that first little bit. The higher up you take it, the better it'll be. So now I'm going to come in with the black. Same deal. I'm going to put it on the bottom first, all around the bottom. And then I'm going to angle my cup, take the glitter up high and sprinkle it down. Go back to your pink and fill in any gaps that you've got. Angle your cup and take the glitter up high. It's really hard to do a black ombre with other colours. Come back in with your black. You're just going backwards and forwards with all the different colours continually until you're happy with the coverage. And that's that one. I'm going to let that one dry and then I'll come back with a second coat once it's dry. So I'll put that one over here. I'll leave the black there. I'm just going to put this pink in here. And put that over there. So now I'll get another glove. And start on the other one. It's really humid here today, so I'm hoping that there won't be any issues with the epoxy. So the red I'm using for this one is Sunburn from Sparkles by Carver Designs. Same deal, very little bit of epoxy on your cup and smoosh that around. So this one's going to be black on the top and red on the bottom. Make sure you get the bottom of the cup smooth that right down. Really smooth. Okay. Let's put that down, take my glove off. Okay. I'm going to start with the red on the bottom. Put it all over the bottom of the cup. Angle it and take it up high. The higher you take it, the better it'll be. And kind of let it just fall wherever it wants to. Now come in with your black. Same deal. Take it round the top. Completely cover the top. And then take it up high and sprinkle it down. I could have half sprayed the cups black in the places I wanted and the different colours in the other places, like down the bottom or the top. But and that's an easy way of doing an ombre, but I just wanted to show you this way. Okay. Now I'm going to come back in with the red up high. Really high. Just kind of let it fall wherever it wants to. Same with the black. Take it up high and just sprinkle it down. The higher you go, the better it'll be. And that's your ombre. So I'm just going to let these guys dry, and for the pink one I'll go in and do another layer. But the red one, I think I'm actually quite happy with how that's gone. I might put a little bit more on the bottom in places where it hasn't quite gone. That's better. So that's the red. Red ombre. Okay. Hey, so back today to put a second coat onto the pink cup. Pretty happy with the red one, so I don't think it needs another coat, but the pink one definitely does. So I've mixed up some more epoxy now. It's going to have to go on a little bit thicker. So what I've done is I have spray sealed what's on here already, and I'll start the process now, putting the second coat on. Now because it's got glitter under it, it's going to need to be a little bit thicker than what it was yesterday, the epoxy. But you still don't want it to the point where it's actually forming puddles. You just want to put it on a thinnish sort of coat, but not as thin as if it was over just metal. Make sure that you get it all over, because you don't want any bald bits where the glitter won't stick. And make sure you take it right to the top of the cup. Again, you're only using the epoxy as a glue. Okay. Smooth it out. That should be fine. So I've probably used about half of what I had in this cup. So this was a full cup. So I've probably used about half. Alright, so again I'm going to start with the lightest at the top here, the pink. Taking it all around the top. And then angling your cup and taking your glitter right up high. And come in with your black. Again, taking it along the bottom. And this again is Late Night Sparkle Run from Sparkles by Carby Designs. And I just noticed I knocked over yesterday's, but that's okay. I'll pick that up. Again, take your glitter up high and angle your cup. Now because you've used more epoxy, you're going to have to use a bit more glitter. You don't want it to be looking wet. Back to your pink. And then back to your black. just keep alternating backwards and forwards until you're happy with how it looks, like we did yesterday. So I'm actually quite happy with that now. I'll put a little bit more black on the base. And I think we're done. Very happy with how that looks now. So now I'm going to let that spin for probably about 4 hours, and then I'll go in with a coat over the top, ready for the decal. I'll be back later. Hello, hello, hello. So back to these 2 cups. I'm about to put a coat of epoxy on these prior to putting on the decal. So I'm actually using a product called Liquidy Split, which Americans would be very familiar with, but we're very new to. One of the girls in the Sparkles group did a buy-in for it for us to try, and I have to say I've used it on the first cup that we glittered, the first ombre that we did, and it was fantastic actually. Super quick to get another coat onto the cup and get the decal happening. So I hope we can actually get it here on a regular basis, because that would really take everything up to a whole new level in terms of cup making. So I'll just get this coat on. It's got a 15-minute work time, so it's I'm hurrying. Normally I like to take my time with this, but this is pretty much just to seal the glitter in and get the decal on here onto a smooth surface. I'm not sure how much I mixed up. Wasn't a lot. Probably could have done with a little bit more, but it'll do just to get smoothed out enough to get the decal on. Once this is dry, they reckon 2 hours, so we'll see how that looks, and we'll get the decal on and then probably the final coat. I think that's it. That's really all we need to do at this point. And I'll come back when I'm doing the final coat of epoxy on here. Okay, so I've put the decal, sanded the cup, as you can see, and when I sand I pay particular attention to the rim and around here. I've put the decal on, so now I'm going to put the final coat of epoxy on there, and that's pretty much all there is to making a cup from start to finish. If you're doing plain glitter, obviously it's a bit easier because you don't have to worry about you know, doing the ombre and all of that sort of stuff. But yep, so I'll post both the finished cups onto my Facebook page when they're completely done. I'll show you the other one in a minute to where that one's up to, as soon as I put this coat on here and let it spin. Again, I'm using the same resin as what I started with, because I wanted to see just, you know, sort of how long the process would take with the quick set epoxy. And I have to admit, I did leave this last coat before putting the decal on here a little bit longer, because I noticed when I did the red cup that even though it was dry, there was still some fingerprints that showed after I put the decal on. So whilst it's touch dry, you probably wouldn't want to, you know, sort of bang it around too much, really. Okay. And that's pretty much that. And again, this should be touch dry in 2 hours, but you know, I'll leave it and let it set properly, because this is the final coat. And this won't leave my house for at least 72 hours. I think that's it. So let me just grab this other cup. So this is the other one. You can see that I've sanded it around the rim and around here where you tend to get the rough bits. That's where I focus most of my sanding. And it doesn't matter what it looks like here. Once you put the epoxy on, it actually, you know, evens itself out and looks really good. So that's the other cup that I did. So I'll put the epoxy on this one as well, and it'll be good to go. So if there's any questions at all, please pop them on the bottom of the video, and I'll get back to you with any of the answers. Thank you for your support throughout 2020, and we hope that you got something out of the content that we posted, and there'll be bigger and better things coming for 2021. Have a great Christmas and a very happy New Year, and I'll see you all soon.